We're live. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. How is everybody doing tonight? We are here again to do some authory talking stuff. And we won't be sprinting. So if that's the reason you're here, I apologize. That's just not what we're doing on Friday nights right now. So there's a cat here. You can't see him, but if I start reaching off, that's what I'm doing. Let's go ahead and introduce ourselves, and let's start. Let's make the cat start.
Yes.
Hello. I am Kat CJ tonight. I'm a writer of things and a private music instructor. Yeah.
Okay. Mossy, you want to go?
It.
Do you want to go, Mossy?
Oh, okay. Hi. I'm what do I go by? Mossy-verse. I am an artist. I just got back into writing and I'm here.
Yay! And Morgan.
Hi, I'm Morgan Hazelwood. I am an actively queering fantasy author, and I just finished revisions on my latest space fantasy that I'm going to be looking for beta readers next week. And by finished, what I mean is I still need to do a quick skim read of the entire thing, hopefully this weekend. But I came here instead so I can make sure it's still coherent after all the revisions I put it through.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yay.
And I'm Sarah Scharnober, and yeah, this is my shit show. So let's see here. Jacob is here on YouTube. Hello, Jacob, the King Red Spy Red X. And
hello,
nobody
Jacob.
is in the Twitch chat right now, but hello, everyone. Thank you for being here. We are gonna play a stupid game of Never Have I Ever, which does not require drinking, but frequently does include drinking. I also have a beverage. I really have a White Claw. We're not going to talk about it. Hello, Wendy. Hello. Welcome. How are you tonight? I hope everything is lovely and wonderful and you're having the best night ever. Jacob said, Jacob the King Red Spy Red X gonna wrestle CJ the strong cowboy dude at camping. There you go.
All right.
That's a thing you know now. You didn't know it before, did you?
I didn't, but now I have time to prepare.
It's true. I don't think he means you. I think there's someone else named
it's the
CJ.
strong cowboy.
Yeah, I think it might be a family friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you're right.
I think so. Like on his mom's side.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah, I don't know who CJ is, but I hope you win.
Go,
That's
Jacob.
kind of what I feel like, yeah. I hope Jacob wins. Oh, at WWE 2K20. Well, I still hope you win. It's important. It just occurred to me that I didn't know if my phone was silent. Alright, anyway, so we are going to play some Authors Never Have I Ever. We're going to... Hold on a moment. Oh, it lets me do this way. Isn't that fucking awesome? I'm only covering part of it just to make it a little bit easier to follow on screen where we're at. Not necessarily to hide anything. There's not really anything to hide. So
There could be though.
yes, there very well could be. I'm untrustworthy as fuck. So there's that.
It's true.
There's that. Okay, and it even let us do it in the little thing, so that's cool that we're still at our little table. So the rules for Never Have I Ever is usually you drink if you have done the thing. But, tonight we're not really drinking. So I do think that it's perfectly acceptable to discuss further. I know sometimes when you play this, the idea is that you don't discuss it further and you're done when you're done. Like you just leave it at the answer. But I think it'll be more fun if we kind of discuss because we're talking shit right now.
I like it.
So,
Okay.
also, some of these I took from the Never Have I Ever tag that went around on writing blogs a while back. But some of them I made up myself, so if they don't make sense, it's because my brain does not work right. So, I apologize.
It's not that it doesn't work right, it's that it works differently than the average person.
Not right.
Big brain.
This is why my twin is my alpha reader, who can tell me if what I said what I meant to say, but she can't actually tell me if I conveyed it that people outside of my head will get it.
Right. That makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and start. In the chat, if you guys are here and you want to tell us if you have ever done these things, that would be pretty cool. I just realized that I don't think I have the chat on.
We saw Jacob's comment, but yeah, no.
Oh, no, on screen on this setting
Gotcha.
that I just switched over to. But I don't know. I don't think it's going to work. So we're just going to... We're just going to not have chat on screen, and I'm sorry. I'm also going to kick my camera, because I like to do that. Okay.
As one does.
Well, as Sarah does, anyway. I am one. Anyway. Okay, so the first one is, never have I ever written a story completely by hand. I know I have. I absolutely have.
Are we talking
yeah,
like
absolutely.
full stories? Like, I remember doing it in like 4th grade, but probably not since then. And that was like 15 pages.
Yeah, I think that probably counts. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
I have a hand illustrated book story I illustrated when I was 8.
Oh, wow.
Frame it.
Yeah, that's adorable.
Badly. Very badly.
I mean, at 8 years old, only the most...
I was a librarian's daughter. I
driven.
knew what I wanted to do.
Yeah,
Mossy,
I just
when
didn't know
you
how to pay
lean
the bills.
forward,
right?
the picture behind you shows up. When you lean forward, watch. It's like there is a face. I found a face.
Yeah, that's my evil twin.
Apparently, she's doing something back there. It's just popping up when you're not looking. That's a little shifty. All right. All right. Next one. Never have I ever changed tenses in the middle of a story. Oh yeah,
Oh,
absolutely.
I've absolutely done that.
Mm-hmm. Guilty as charged. I definitely do that regularly.
I'm double fisting with water. I'm not cheating.
Okay. That's fair. All right. Never have I ever changed a protagonist's name halfway through a draft. I've done it accidentally.
I
don't
caught
know that I have.
I caught name spelling differences in like my most recent revision. Protagonist, I think I usually wait till after a draft to change the name, but like secondary characters all the time, at least spelling wise.
Yeah.
I have to keep a list or I forget my character names, including like my main character.
I what's it called? I use like placeholder names because I don't like it, and then I end up changing it later.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I don't think that's that uncommon, really. I think a lot of people just use whatever name pops into their head, and then they find something that like fits.
Sarah's
Right.
heard my story of the time I used all placeholder names in my Second World Fantasy. So I have Alice, Bob, and Carol being attacked by Canadia. And it is a hot mess, and I have never edited it.
That's silly.
That's awesome.
It's a sequel to one I'm trying to sell. So like, if I sell it, then I might look at that hot mess. But
you don't have to until you have to.
I'm trying to acquire the kitten, but he ain't having it.
Aw.
Lord,
Hi.
what are you doing? He says, I'm walking the fuck away from you. That's what I'm doing. All right. Never have I ever fallen asleep while writing.
Oh, I've absolutely done that.
Yes. Yeah, specifically editing, because I tend to let myself get in more comfortable positions when I'm editing than when I'm writing.
Right.
So I have definitely like laid on my stomach to start editing and then just
Passed out.
I
mean,
would
it
like
happens.
to say, right, in defense of falling asleep while editing, it doesn't necessarily mean your story is so boring you're putting yourself to sleep. You just know what happens.
Right.
So the tension is gone for you.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because you know it forward and backward.
Also,
it's not because your story's that bad.
no, I also just really like sleeping. So, that's the thing.
Snorlax.
I am a Snorlax. Wendy's changed main character names in the middle of the draft as well.
I mean, we're only human.
And Jacob's cat Jelly Bean scared him so much that she gave him a heart attack and got him killed.
Oh,
So,
Oh my goodness.
yeah, that's a new
That's
one.
pretty fierce.
Never have I ever yelled in all caps at myself in the middle of a novel.
Oh, I have absolutely.
Specifically when editing.
Yeah.
I write things like, "Are you stupid?"
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't. I have no interest in being nice to me.
I'm much kinder to myself.
I usually put it in like parentheses or like brackets, and then I'll delete that later.
Yeah.
I will do like question mark, exclamation mark as a like, what were you thinking, Morgan?
Yeah.
The world
I
may never know.
In the novel I'm supposed to be editing this month, which I'm really not. I have put my notes in different colored font, and there's a couple of them that are bright red and all caps. So, yeah, definitely.
Sorry, I had fruit snacks in my mouth.
Fruit snacks.
I love them. They're one of my biggest weaknesses. All right. Never have I ever used "I'm writing" as an excuse. Oh, wow. Yeah. Completely
Oh,
I
guilty.
drink
Yes.
twice. Can I just like chug
Just
this
chug it?
thing? I don't.
Probably shouldn't do that.
Sometimes I just don't want to interact with people.
Right.
Right?
Yeah. That's sometimes I'm just
not,
like,
not that it's an excuse, but like, I don't know. I just don't want to talk.
yeah. Yeah. It's just
It's
like,
not
I just want to
you,
like be
it's
alone.
That I just don't want to hang out with people.
Right. I'm alone
There's
with my
also
thoughts.
I want to have written, but really I just want to stare at my like social media feed mindlessly and not deal with people
Yeah.
with the
TikTok rabbit
document
holes.
open on the other screen.
Right.
But that counts as working because at least it's open, right?
Yeah. As long as you opened it.
I will die on that hill, absolutely.
Yep. If you
I
opened it, it counts.
I have had entire 2-hour productivity sprints where in the last 5 minutes I get that document open.
The best of intentions. The best of intentions.
That's why it's called the Lazy Sunday productivity sprint, where we encourage hanging out and snacks and maybe some productivity.
Maybe.
I'm a fan of snacks. Snacks are one of my
Right.
favorite things. That might be my religion. I believe in snacks.
Naps.
Snacks.
If I'm
oh.
stuck, I start snacking and it helps. Like my writing is snack powered.
That's fair.
There's nothing wrong
Yeah.
with that.
No.
I see no problem
Energy.
there.
Yeah. Faux show. All right. Never have I ever killed a character based on someone I know in real life. I don't.
Oh man.
I don't base characters off of real people. I base characters off of archetypes typically. And I don't think of people as archetypes. I know some people do. My brain just doesn't work that way.
So does it count if I stole a name from like a stuffed animal I own and killed that character, even though obviously the character and the stuffed animal had nothing in common other than the name?
No, I don't think so, because it says based on someone I know in
no.
real life.
Yeah.
So I think
Because
it
a
has
guy
to
going
be like
hiking is not a teddy bear.
right. Like I think it has to be like this dude is basically just my brother.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it would have to be like that. All right.
In my defense, though, I kind of describe the person And if they get their feelings hurt, they get their feelings hurt.
That's
I'm
fair.
not actually saying your name.
Yeah, that's well, and that's the thing is like if you're gonna base a character on a real person, do not base it so much on a real person that you are stealing their likeness, because then you're gonna get in trouble. But
Yeah.
if you're just like, this person is such an odd character that I'm gonna base this character on how I think they might respond to things, that's different.
Right.
But yeah, you can't just like steal people's likeness, because then you get
Wait,
Jay and
wait,
Silent Bob Strike Back.
Unless it's a Tuckerization and it's an in-joke and they're cool with it.
Well,
Like,
you always
that
have
is
to
a
be
whole
careful
thing.
though,
Well,
Yeah.
because some people are shifty too. Like some people think like, oh, it's fine until it like blows up, and then they're like, I don't like the way this makes me look now.
Yeah.
So that's all. But yeah, never have I ever drank an entire pot of coffee while writing. Oh, I've drank 5 or 6 in a sitting.
Oh, yeah, no.
no,
I,
I have
all the
not.
time.
Step 1, drink coffee.
Right. If you don't drink
That
coffee,
is the
that's not going to
first
work.
thing I do, yes. Make the coffee, drink the coffee, get some writing done.
Yeah, I used to just sit at Denny's and write for like hours and hours, and they would just bring me coffee. So I'm sure I've drank 5 or 6 in a sitting. Never have I. What was that?
I was gonna say, isn't that how we spent like the second semester of our senior year?
Pretty much, yeah. Never have I ever spilled a drink on my laptop while writing.
I'm pretty sure I
Absolutely.
just spilled half of this on my laptop.
Oh no.
That's how it be.
Yep.
I had my laptop, I spilled on it, and I thought I cleaned it up, and then like 3 weeks later it stopped working, and the computer guy took it apart, and he was like, I could literally see all of the coffee in your, like, in between the keys and stuff. I was like, well, I tried.
I tried.
I did
Did
my
you put
best.
it in rice?
Wait.
Yeah, a whole-
You're fueled by coffee. Why wouldn't your keyboard be fueled
It
by
did
coffee?
not work.
No.
That did not work. I guarantee that's not the best choice. Please don't do that. It's a bad choice. All right.
Unless you want to test the theory and like see if it's replicable.
No, don't do that. Don't do
I
that.
just cross that off the list
You're
right now.
gonna have to buy a whole new fucking
Laptop.
and that no.
Yeah.
Or pay $300 for a dude to clean it out. Okay. Never have I ever published an unedited story online.
What level of unedited? Like,
Yeah.
I write and the first thing that comes out, or like I spend 20 minutes rereading it and then it goes up.
I don't know. This is the whole question.
Because I usually reread it at least once before I
Yeah.
put something up.
In high school, I don't know why, I just published the first thing that I wrote, and
Nice.
it was so bad, but I'm learning from it now. I'm a better writer.
Right?
Yeah, bad writing, like the period of time where writers write badly is super important, because you have to see what doesn't work to be able to
Right.
pick up what does.
Absolutely.
So it's really key, and I know a lot of people are very like embarrassed by it and all that, and it's like no, that's part of how you get to where you are.
And if you haven't been through that stage, then you're not pushing your writing.
Right, and
You know?
like I every time I edit something, I learn something new. So it's always improving. I'm always learning, like, oh, I use that word too much in this area. So as I'm writing the next time, I'm not using that word as much in that area. So I don't have to edit it in that next edit, which makes the
Right.
whole manuscript tighter. Like you have to see the flaws before you can improve.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
and, like I say this as like a piano teacher. Art is one thing, but in order to make good art, you do have to have some skill as well. And skills are developed through practice. And like I have students who are such perfectionists that they get frustrated when they sight read a piece. It's the first time they've played a piece, they've never seen it before, and they get really frustrated because they're playing all these wrong notes and they're not playing the right rhythms. And my response is always, remember, this is the first time. nobody gets it perfectly the first time. Well, not nobody, but it is so freaking rare for somebody to play something that is, you know, at or above their own, their practice level.
Oh, Jesus
And the same
Christ.
is
I
true.
gotta pop off for a second here, you guys, so keep talking, but I gotta go take care of cat puked.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh,
Have fun. But yeah, I think writing is the same. And I think like when I'm in my 40s now,
Are we done?
and I spend a lot of my 30s feeling like, shouldn't I be better at writing than I am? I've done a lot of practice. Shouldn't I be better? But now that I'm in my 40s, and as I look, like I'm editing some things that I started writing when I was much, much younger.
Mhm.
And I'm like, I told my dad the other day, because I have a story that actually the one I'm supposed to be editing right now. He was like, I want to see this published before I die. And my first thought is, well, you probably got another 20 years. You'll be okay. But I also talked to him about, like, one of the things I'm finding as I'm reading through it is this is not a story I could have told 30 years ago. I didn't have the skill. I didn't have the understanding. And so I think that when we look back, that I unpacked a bunch of stuff last week in my office here. You can't tell because I'm a cat right now, but I found I was my senior year in high school. I went to a young writers workshop, and everybody had to submit something, and they put it in a bound like book, whatever. And so the thing that I submitted is in there, so that like it's published, it's there. It is incredibly embarrassing. But I keep it because I can see how far I've come.
That's fair.
I like the way you put that.
Yeah, like for I'm working on my sixth full work in progress for like a full-fledged story from beginning to end right now, and I got into 3 points of view, and it's not just two people who are interacting with each other. And I always thought multiple point of view stories were going to be tricky, and now that I'm writing it, it is. I've been moving chapters all over the place, and I've never done that before. But to get the different characters to have the pacing match, the stressors of the other, because you don't want a denouement while the other group is still terrified,
Right.
So to balance that sort of thing out, I really had to do a lot of shifting around, and I couldn't have done that 5 years ago. I can barely do it now. And so things that did intimidate me actually were hard. So I'm feeling vindicated.
Yeah.
That's fair. You guys didn't move on, right?
Nope.
No.
All right. Never have I ever forgotten to save my work.
I
Forgotten.
don't want to talk about this.
I don't think I've ever forgotten. I've had like a crash happen while I was working, and I've had hard drives like die, but it wasn't.
I kept opening copies of my rough draft and not the actual rough draft. And I was like, I thought I edited this chapter, and I did it 3 times. I edited the same chapter, like the original version.
Oh, that's so painful.
And I was just like, I'm surprised I hadn't edited that. Like the first time I was like, oh, okay, I must have been, whatever. But the second time I was like, didn't I? But
yeah,
where did I leave off? Because this needs cleaning, and so
I have the recent project that I'm working on. I had written like a whole chapter, and I left to do something, come back to my laptop, and I'm like, it's not here. Oh my god, I forgot what I wrote. I don't know what happened. It didn't save or something, and I'm like, freaking out.
The most horrible feeling too.
I had some poetry. Like I went to open mic night. My local writers group has like an open mic night. And a lot of times I'll get really inspired by things people say. And I wrote down those notes, and like before the next open mic night, I had those open and I wrote these poems and I was like breaking my own heart. And I go to read them like the next month, I go to open it up. And I had that same draft open in 2 windows and the one with the notes about what it was supposed to be saved over the actual poetry. And it doesn't exist.
No. Oh my
No.
God.
So I wrote a poem to poetry that no longer exists and how ephemeral poetry is as an ode to my lost poetry. But
Oh,
Oh my God.
that's
it hurt.
heartbreaking. Yeah.
I was pretty close to crying. It was not. I mean, it's been like 6 months and I'm still pretty worked up about that one.
Yeah, that seems pretty upsetting. Ugh. All right. Never have I ever cried while writing a scene. I've absolutely done that.
Yes.
Guilty.
I flailed, but I don't like cry during most reading, much less when I already know what's supposed to happen, you know?
Yeah, I don't know what's supposed to happen either, though.
Oh, right. You're more of a pantser.
Yeah, so that's definitely been a thing.
Yeah.
Never have I ever ran an idea across my pet or inanimate object. I put that one in there because that's a lie.
I ask my cats all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, I'll be
My
like,
dog is very smart.
yeah, I'm like, Mr. Crowley, do you think she's a witch? And he's like, maybe. I'm like, yeah, she might be.
Like maybe.
Lore hasn't learned yet, but we're teaching him.
I was going to say, I have found that Tybalt is a very good listener. Bandit is not, but Bandit is also half insane.
Yeah, Bandit's a psycho.
I mean, hearing the names, that's how I would assign the behavior.
Yeah, Tybalt is the good middle child of our household. Ninja does not care. He is a grumpy old man. If you ask him a question, he looks at you like, why are
Don't
you
you already
talking
know?
to me? Yeah, why are you talking to me? Go away.
My
Or
dog
give
just
me-
rolls
give
her
me
eyes.
foot. Oh, that's awesome.
She's like, oh, please stop talking to me.
What type of pupper?
She's a husky.
Oh.
I have also, like, demanded that my coffee help me before. Like, I've been like, why aren't you working? Why aren't you making me write
Honestly,
things?
I don't think that's an unreasonable demand.
No.
Yeah, no.
Like,
No.
that is part of the promise of coffee.
Right.
and It doesn't always deliver.
Right, but I've definitely yelled at it before.
I don't do coffee, but I do chocolate. And, you know, I'm looking at my bonbon being like, I ate 3 of you. Something should be happening.
Right.
Like, why? How could you?
Right? Like, this is...
You have betrayed me.
Right, and now I can't ever trust you again.
Right.
Or maybe I just didn't have enough.
That could be.
That's always a possibility.
That could definitely be. Never have I ever made a face to try to figure out how to describe that face.
Oh, yes.
I do it on stream sometimes, and then I realize I'm on camera. So I'll be like at my desk, like,
I have the best poker face for other people. My face has never been described as quiet.
nope. No. That's, I tell Tamara she's got a loud face all the time, too.
Yep.
So I'm an artist, and like, I do animations and things like that. So I have to get like very expressive with my face and everything.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it makes the words come out faster.
And sometimes, like, you can't think of what you would call something, but then you do it, and you're like, oh, yeah, that would fall under this.
Exactly.
Like, you know, like raising an eyebrow or whatever. It's like, is that really raising an eyebrow? Yeah, that is raising an eyebrow for that. Like, I guess that's what that would be. Like, you know, sometimes you just have to do it.
You make a grumpy face and you're like, which part of my grumpy face am I going to describe?
Right.
Drawn brow, the like.
Right, and or you go, if I were smiling really big, would that cause the wrinkles here and here to accentuate? Let me smile really big and see. Like, sometimes it's, you know, sometimes it's what you gotta do. But you do look like an asshole to everybody else. It's kind of like the influencers in the wild thing.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's just your face twerking all over the internet for no reason.
My face is twerking over the internet.
Oh, my face be twerking. All right. Never have I ever cleaned something to avoid writing or editing.
Oh, yeah.
I just did that for like 2 hours today.
Yeah.
Procrastinating is in my author bio. I'm so bad at
It's so
at it.
good, though. Love it. It's one of my
hate
favorites.
doing dishes, but if I can do dishes rather than edit, I will do that.
What is that?
It's a
Is that
little.
a pen?
It's just a
Oh.
pig.
It's a little pig.
It's just a pig with his weird eyeballs. I had
That's
another.
so cute.
I had another animal, but Zug ripped one of the eyeballs out, so I don't know where it ended up.
I
What's
have
that?
a snake,
Oh,
A
in my
snake?
neck, but it's also a bottle opener.
Well, that's
Oh,
nice.
fancy.
That's awesome.
So
I have some ram, just laying around.
as one does.
Yep,
I'm not gonna ask.
like computer RAM. It came out of another
You're in the land of
computer, and it
Ding
just doesn't have anywhere to go. So I kept it because it's not bad. It's just not as high of a amount of RAM as mine is. What are you doing? What in the fuck, bro? Go chew your tail some more. Lore's missing part of his tail. And it's got like a crick at the very end.
Mhm.
And he chews on it sometimes, and I'm genuinely wondering if he chewed his own tail off when he was little. There's no sore
that's
on it
possible.
now, but he chews on the tip of it sometimes. I don't know.
Okay, I'm not gonna
That's-
lie, that's a little adorable.
It doesn't taper off, though, so you can tell that he's missing a part. Because, like, it should taper off like a cat's tail does. No, his is,
Right.
like, thicker, and then just all of a sudden it's like, whoop. And it looks stubby and weird. It makes me laugh. But yeah, he's, just up to no good tonight. I don't know why. Or what his deal is. He was sleeping in my laundry earlier. I guess it made him evil. Anyway.
Yeah, sleeping in laundry does that to me too.
That's true. Laundry makes me evil. Never have I ever rushed a story rather than giving it the time it deserved.
Yeah, I can admit to that.
That's some heavy guilt right there.
Yeah.
I am so bad at endings. Like either I'll just like be like, oh, I finished a plot arc, good enough, I'll fix it in post, or okay, I know where I'm going and maybe I should take a little more time to get there, but let's just get it over with.
I had a run of nanos where I didn't finish the story, and I was like, I'll go back and edit it and fix the story. No, you fucking won't. You liar. Liar, pants on fire. I mean, it was long enough ago that, like, they were probably real bad, but I don't have them anymore, so.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Nah, shit happens. I mean, we're talking fresh out of college stories, so
Oh,
Yeah.
we're 15,
baby writing.
18 years, something.
Baby writing.
All right, this is the one I think I might have to explain, but I am going to explain it. Never have I ever been a method writer. Those people who think, like, I have to do drugs to say say somebody experiences using drugs, or I have to go engage with this group of people because I'm writing a story that involves that group of people, like, you know, bikers, or like not a cultural thing, but like a I'm gonna
Like
go
a research.
right, like I'm gonna go join a biker group for 6 months and then write a book about it. No, that's ridiculous. So that's not my gig.
I, will spend 2 hours on the Googles and then, if necessary, reach out to somebody from that, community, the people who do that thing or are from that culture or whatever, and ask somebody to be a sensitivity reader.
Right. No, and I'm not even talking about something that you would want a sensitivity reader for. I'm talking more, people who, like, I have to hang out.
French chef class.
Right, or I have to go.
Beta had
I have to go hang out in dive bars because the guy I'm writing goes to dive bars sometimes. So now, until the book's done, I have to hang out in dive bars, like that kind of thing. Where it's,
Those people create a character who goes to a dive bar so they have an excuse to try something they've always wanted to do.
maybe that's some of it. That's possible. But it's an odd trait. Hey, Aphrodite, thanks for coming. Yes, Jacob, you did make me watch Shrek straking Shrek's butt. There's a YouTube video of it, and he makes me look at it every time I'm over at his house.
That's appropriate.
It's not. It's not. But at least he's not making douches anymore because he watched fucking, what was it?
Sausage party?
Sausage Party, yes. So he didn't
Oh my God.
he didn't know what the bad guy was, but he made one. So he walked around with a douche that he made out of a plastic bottle.
Exciting.
He is an incredibly creative soul.
He's one of my favorite weirdos. I love weirdos.
Mhm.
All right, I went and got a couple little positive ones, so there's some in here that aren't quite as negative, but you know, whatevs. Never have I ever paid a bill with my writing money, with money I made from my writing. I absolutely have.
Nice. Can I count it if I bought Wendy's for dinner with
Doesn't
it?
matter. Doesn't matter. If you have bought something with writing money dollars, that counts.
I got
Yeah.
a junior bacon cheeseburger.
Oh, that sounds so good right now.
Right.
Okay, does it count if I wrote a speech and then gave the speech and I got paid for giving the speech?
I think so.
All right. Then
I think that
yes.
counts because you're being paid for the writing.
All right.
You just had
Ultimately.
to give it to them verbally.
Right.
Which,
Yeah.
you know.
Right, but if
Well,
you
and
had
I
written
could've-
garbage,
right.
I could have winged it. They probably wouldn't have noticed the difference, but
maybe you shouldn't disclose that.
You brought your A game, whether or not they deserved it.
to be fair, they wouldn't judge me too harshly. They love me.
Yay.
It was a friendly audience.
Okay.
Aphrodite has never done the method and doesn't feel like she has to in order to tell a tale. That said, she's also considered spending time doing speed dating for some dating research, because she just wants to speed date. And she's also used money for writing money for bills. So that's exciting. It is like super exciting. Even if you're like, you know, I put $5 on the electric bill. You put $5 fucking on that electric bill that you got out of your writing. So
Right?
don't let somebody tell you some bullshit about like, man, it's not enough. Well,
Yeah, let's not talk about how much outgoing I have for my web host.
that doesn't
everything.
matter. That does not matter.
Nope.
If you paid your web hosting, that counts as well.
I got a tip jar.
Right? Never have I ever ignored or refused to take editor or beta advice.
I have a thing I call my rule of thirds, in which beta readers give you 1/3 easy fixes, 1/3 what the bleep are they talking about, but maybe I could have set that up better, and 1/3, oh crap, I really need to get into this, but 1/3 of their stuff is, did you even read what I wrote?
Right? Or
Thank you for your 3,000 word thesis about how you would have built my world.
I had someone who is well educated and intelligent read one of my stories one time and insist that the word sulfurous did not exist and I made it up.
Did they try Google or a dictionary?
Well, I mean, this was 2004 or so, maybe 2006,
Dictionary.
somewhere in there. So, but yeah, I'm like, no, that's an actual real word, I promise you. And like, if it was just an idiot, I'd feel different about it, but he's not an idiot. He just, for some reason, thought I made that one word up. So just keep in mind, no matter how intelligent your betas or editors or whatever are, they might think that you're crazy. I had someone, one of my stories includes drug addicts, and somebody asked for an 8-ball, and one of my betas was like, don't you mean an eighth? And I'm like, no, I don't.
No, as a matter of fact, that is not what I'm.
Thank you for your input, but absolutely I don't.
Good to
So-
know.
Sarah be out there coining words. Yes, I just made up most of the English language. Please attribute all books from here forward to me.
Legit.
I give you permission to use my words as long as you dedicate every novel written from this point forward to yours truly. That's the requirement.
Step 1, write book. Step 2, dedicate to Sarah. Okay.
You forgot the coffee part.
That's all right. I got
Mouth
these.
simple coffee.
I'm making up for it. I got these espresso caramels.
Ooh.
They're
Nice.
delicious.
I will eat chocolate covered espresso beans.
Yes.
I'm a fan of those as well. We have some of those at my office at work. And the problem is that I never just want 2 of those for the chocolate if I want chocolate. But usually when I want chocolate, I've already had at least 2 espressos. So then I'm like,
At least.
yeah. Well, we have a fucking Nespresso machine at the office. So I just like pop in a little pod and I have espresso, and like that's a terrible idea. So I'll like tell my boss like, you're gonna have to talk slow because my brain's working too fast and I'm vibrating. Like, so just please give me a little space. She's
Coffee
used to
make
me by
brain
now.
go brr.
Yeah, I'm just like she'll be like, can you do this thing? And I'm like, I think so. I think I can. I think I can. So yeah. But Aphrodite fired a beta once, and her editor is great, but he ain't perfect. Absolutely true.
Oh, yeah. Not
Also,
even. Sorry, go ahead.
no, go ahead.
I was gonna say even a good editor might be wrong for your story.
Mhm.
So even if they're good, if they don't, get your genre or your setting, then pass.
Right. Right.
Let them edit something they're a better fit for.
Right, and it doesn't even necessarily have to be like they're a fantasy author and I brought them a romance. Like, if they are a horror author, but they do supernatural, and you have a non-supernatural story, they might not do well for that. Like,
Yeah.
remember that there's a reason that people are good at things. And also remember that there is no official criteria for an editor. There is no such thing as an official editor. So vet them carefully, because they could either be magically wonderful or totally fuck you. And you won't know until your money's gone.
The UK actually has like an editors guild,
Yeah,
Oh.
but
That's
that's like
gorgeous.
over there.
right. That doesn't do much. I think
No.
I did know that at some point.
I was just like, wait, what are you people talking about? What? This is a thing? I've never heard. Oh, London. Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense. And that would be really cool if there was, just so that you know that it's not like someone who's trying to edit, but really they're trying to sucker you into a vanity press or something.
Right.
Like,
Mm.
that's a whole thing. Nobody wants that. The vanity presses are the MLMs of the writing world.
Yeah, they are.
And some agents, like legit agents, think it's appropriate to be like, no, I'm not going to represent you. However, I also sell editing services on the side, which A is sketchy,
That's gross.
and B also indicates they're not either selling work enough or they're not getting paid enough, and they're getting shat on by their agency.
Right, but that is ethically questionable at best.
Yeah.
Like, that's...
Yeah. There's 1 or 2 like short story markets in which they're like, hey, if we reject you, you can pay X amount, I don't know, $50 or something, and we'll give you a critique so you'll know where you went, what made us not take it and that sort of thing. And I'm like,
Yikes.
There's a small-ish author tuber who somebody called out a little bit ago because he shits on traditional publishing, and also basically he seems to be an owner, maybe. I looked at the website, but of what looks like basically a vanity press. And he's using his AuthorTube platform to basically just say that publishing steals all of your rights away and you'll never own your own book again and you'll be so miserable, basically.
Lies?
Right. So like, and that's I thought of that because we were talking about it being ethically questionable. That is ethically questionable for you to say anything about publishing when you are a part of that company.
Yeah.
And not clearly disclosing it. Like the video, if you want to have that conversation, the video should open with, I own or work for this company. I don't know what his status is there, but he's at the top of the staff.
Yeah.
Right. You have to open with that. You have to tell us where you come from on this topic, because of course, if you want me to buy Vanity Press from you, you do not want me to try to get published by Penguin.
Right.
Yeah. Like with in the sci-fi fantasy short story market, most rights revert to you in somewhere between 6 months and 3 years. You know, Amazon with their audible rights are 7 years, which is longer than most industry standard for traditionally published books. So that's kind of stretching out the traditional publishing is starting to pair up with that. But no matter what, once it's out of print, the rights revert to you. Like with short stories, you do have to find resale markets where they accept things that have been previously published,
But if you wanna just like do your own short story collection, that's what happened with some of mine. Is that I publish them with places. The places don't sell them anymore. I put them in there, and all I have to do is say where they were originally published, and it's.
Yep. And that's the traditional market. It's not a monster that's out to get people and take it.
No, and here's the thing: is like anytime you add business people and bureaucracy to an area, it gets shitty in a lot of ways. Yeah. But it's the same ways it would get shitty if you were working with a smaller company and they blew up. Like that's just the nature of business. And it doesn't matter where you fall in the publishing journey, you still have to have thick skin and be willing to hear what people say, because it doesn't matter who's saying it, somebody's going to say it.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So, yeah. But I also have seen recently the same conversation going on on Twitter, and I've seen a lot of agents saying that you do not need to hire an editor, like a paid editor, for a traditional book. Like, that's basically a myth, and that they expect it to be not professionally edited when you turn it over. And maybe you do the first chapter or the first 3 chapters or whatever, but it is not necessary 100% to have it edited by someone else.
The only time I might recommend it is if you're trying to sell in a market that isn't your native language.
Yeah, but also it's just like one of those things where it's like you don't have to. And I think a lot of people think that it's fully required and like nobody will listen to you. And it's like, no, you don't have to do that. You don't have to have...
Right.
Like, nobody's requiring that. That's a trick.
Or if you're dyslexic or that sort of thing,
you
might.
Right. If you have a particular need yourself, or if you feel more comfortable having it edited by someone else. Yeah. But that is not a requirement of the agents or the publishing companies for you to have edited it prior to sending it out. Yeah. Like, have it edited by someone else prior to sending it out.
Right. For a full-length manuscript, you're probably looking at somewhere between 1,000 to 3,000. If they quote you way under, I don't know. They could just be starting off, and that's totally fine, but buyer beware. If they quote you over that, they're gouging you, so buyer beware. Or they're that skilled and their clients are waitlisted, and that's the only way to get in. But, you'd have to really want that specific editor to pony up that much cash.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh. All right, next one. Never have I ever written while intoxicated. Bitch, I done that on fucking the internet.
Not often, but
no, but like those videos are still on YouTube. I can't pretend it didn't happen.
It happens.
They're still here.
It's a thing.
Oh, Lord. Never have I ever skipped writing to do something fun instead. Uh-oh.
I don't know what you're talking about.
My sim had shit to do. How is she going to get a degree if I don't ever come in and take her to university?
Right?
Exactly.
It's important. And then I'm just going to have a stupid sim? I don't think so. That's not how I raise my sims.
Yeah, no.
That's
no,
right.
Clearly.
That's right.
Right.
Clearly.
I'm a good parent to my sims. Or
I'm
Also,
glad
you know,
someone is, because I'm a horrible parent.
I'm
to
a
my son.
benevolently evil creator.
sometimes Catechus needs lap snuggles.
Yes.
Right.
Yep.
See? Yeah.
Yeah,
Do I look
sometimes.
like a monster? Today, I had to kick him off my lap to go to my day job because they refused to pay me to pet my cat.
Yeah, that's weird, isn't it?
Okay.
I think that's thoroughly unfair, personally.
Yeah.
I
He
am.
was napping.
Yeah, I'm medically required to rub my face on all of my cats at least 3 times a day.
Yeah.
Like it's just my doctor said I have to. There's not anything I can do about it. You know,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
got to rub your face on your cats.
Mine does the like headbutts of love.
Oh,
so
I love
I'll
that.
headbutt him back. He
Mr.
also
Crowley and I
scratched the
sniff
shit
each
out of
other's
me
foreheads.
today. Aww.
Yeah.
How cute.
Yes, we sniff each other's foreheads. I'm also really ticklish if you like very lightly touch my forehead, you know, as if like a cat sniffing. And so sometimes I giggle a lot when he does it. So, yes.
If I go outside in Virginia heat for a walk and come back in, Catechus must lick the salt off my skin.
Yep.
Yeah.
Tybalt
That's
does
so
that to
cute.
me. Bandit likes to attack my feet.
My ankles are, in fact, an amazing chew toy, no matter how many times I try to tell Catechus no.
Yep.
He's really bad at consent, but he is emotionally a toddler, so
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Bandit is naughty when he wants attention.
Speaking of CJ's cats, just real quick, CJ, my mom sent me a picture of Tybalt's new siblings.
Oh yeah?
Uh-huh.
Let's see them.
I'll send them to you later because I can't like hold my phone up to the thing. It'll look
That's-
stupid.
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. But there's another orange one, and then there's an orange one with white legs and like
Oh.
orange tuxedo almost.
Oh. My
Uh,
sister already told me I'm not allowed to have any more.
Oh,
well,
The internet has told me that orange cats are the sweetest,
They are.
stupidest cats ever,
they are.
Oh, absolutely.
with like no brain cells to rub together.
Yeah.
No.
And if you
Like,
like, most of them are male. So if you get a male and you get him fixed, he is almost 100%, almost going to just get really fat and then want to smoosh next to you and be hot.
yep.
Oh, and shed more than you could
Oh,
ever imagine.
gosh.
You'll have no
I
idea where
can't-
it's all coming from.
No, like Tybalt is a short hair, but you pet him twice and you end up with a handful. Like, although he has taken to, he sleeps with my sister. He does not sleep with me, but he sleeps with my sister because that's where Ninja sleeps, and he wants to sleep with Ninja, and. He has taken to getting up with my sister. My sister gets up early. She gets up at like 6 or something.
Mm.
Some ungodly hour.
All right, you guys, hold on one second. I'm going to hold the cat like Simba.
Oh,
Oh, Wookie, I
so
look like
cute.
Simba. He's
Hi,
like, I cannot
baby.
stand.
Hi, baby.
It's this monster.
Who's a
Wow.
baby?
he says, I don't like that, mommy. I don't like that.
He's a baby.
He is so snuggly.
Bandit is in that stage of growth where he's like teenage cat. So he's like super skinny because he has grown so much in such a short amount of time. It doesn't matter how much he eats. And I asked the vet about it when I took him in the other day. And she said, nope, that's just it. He's 7 pounds. He's normal for a 10-month cat. But he's he's really, like, his legs are really tall. And the rest of him has not bulked out yet.
Right, and he was a stray, so who knows, like, what genetics he has going on there. He might, you know, his...
I thought he came from,
Oh, no, Bandit or Tybalt?
yeah, Bandit.
Oh, well, Bandit
I
is
think
half
Tybalt-
stray. I don't know. But Bandit is half stray because they just don't get Jelly Bean fixed and she comes home knocked up.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah, so. At least I think Bandit's from Jelly Bean. They have one other cat that does the same. But either way, they just go get knocked up by a stray.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
You know what?
He's
I'm not going to
lovely.
judge them as long as they're having a good time and it's consensual.
Yeah.
I've heard cats have sex though, and I doubt that. All right.
Right.
All right, next question. Sorry. Derailed. Never have I ever used I'm a writer as an excuse for some behavior.
No.
No, I never did.
Explain.
I've said it to like my dentist, and like I'll ask a bunch of questions to somebody and they'll start to look at me weird and I'll be like, "Oh shit, you don't know what the fuck I'm doing, do you?" It
Oh,
sounds like I'm
I've-
casing the place.
I've used it as an excuse when my massage therapist asks me what the bleep I did to my neck and shoulders this week.
Yep.
Or when like I can't get a hold of a client and I'm like, well, I hope they didn't get eaten by a whale and now there's some sort of creature inside of the whale that's stripping all of their meat off of their bodies and now they're just screaming underwater, but they're trying to get out. And I'm like, I'm doing too much, aren't I?
That was too far. That was too far.
Mm-hmm.
No,
I stepped over a line.
I was part of it was, I'm going to use air quotes, but you can't see them. So creative team at my church. And one of the leaders wanted to spark our creative juices. And so he gave us a scenario. It was like you had to build a house that was super secure and they create a house that was super, a building that was super secure, and then you had to create a thing to get into it, a way to get into it, but that would be, so it was like all of these requirements. And I was like, okay, island in the middle of lava, there's a leprechaun that must let you in and fly you over with Pegasus.
Okay.
And like everyone else is like, oh, it's a, heavily reinforced building with wire on top, blah, blah, blah. And like, as we're reading out or showing and describing, they all looked at me like I'd lost my mind. And I had specifically asked, are there rules to this? And he said, no, there were no rules. I didn't have to, like, you told me there were no rules.
Saying there's no rules is always a mistake. It's always a mistake.
And people never learn.
Yeah, no, there's got to be some sort of rules. Because otherwise somebody's going to be crazy. All right, next question. Never have I ever developed feelings for a character I wrote. And I mean like they're a person. Yeah, I probably have.
Yeah.
Probably.
Kind of.
Not necessarily any specific one, but definitely have felt some kind of way about some people.
Yeah.
All right, and this is the last question. Never have I ever based an unpleasant character on someone I know. Like I said earlier, I don't base characters on people I know.
I might draw like certain experiences with someone, but like the whole character is not going to be based on anyone because I like the creation process. I like my people to be imaginary. I like my worlds to be imaginary. That way nobody can tell me I got it wrong.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is one of the reasons that I work in imaginary places too. Is I really love the Dark Tower series and seeing people go off on Stephen King about like little things that are wrong in New York. I was just like, I can't be doing that. I don't have the patience for that shit. So
I'm thinking about doing a suburban fantasy, but it's gonna be like on a block that doesn't exist in an alternate version of,
Right.
So I'll just be like, hand wave. Things happen slightly differently when the world worked differently. Deal.
You tell them. Take your judgy ass out of here.
Close.
The question is, do I place it after the actual pandemic and have some people masking or not?
Ooh.
Yeah. I have until November to figure that one out.
You'll be fine.
That's a little window. That's some time to cook on it.
Yeah.
I think there will be optional masking, but not like any pandemic spikes in my story.
It's fair. It's fair. Aphrodite has never solely based a character on anyone before. She said, I like fake stuff, that's why I write fiction. But she will murder the fuck out of somebody who pissed her off.
Me too.
Yeah, I do have to say, though, that people who exclusively do that tend to write stories that are just a series of murders rather than an actual story. So that's my one thing with writing that, is that every time I see somebody who's like, that's how I pick who gets killed, I'm like, it's probably going to end up being awkward.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But that's the
Some
end of the
people-
questions, so. What was that?
Some people are just jerks.
Yeah.
And, if they hold that much resentment, either they're hanging out with the wrong sorts of people. And I mean, some of that is unfortunately, if you're related to them, you have no choice sometimes.
Right.
But sometimes it's because you hold a grudge and you hold people to higher standards than are reasonable because you have no friggin' patience.
Right.
Or capability, or maybe you have the capability but you don't use it to, have a little grace,
Yeah.
grant somebody a little grace.
Yeah, that's fair.
And a lot of those people are good at giving themselves excuses. It's always someone else's fault.
Yeah. Yeah, I have a firm belief that I don't associate with people who I perceive have life done to them.
Yeah.
Like, you have no role in anything that happens to you. Things just happen at you. Like, there's nothing I can do with that. I can't help you. We can't solve that problem. It's because you can't.
It's clearly out of your control.
Right, because you're saying you have no role in it at all. So there's nothing I can do with that.
You're a writer. You have to deal with people with agency. Otherwise, they're not three-dimensional characters.
Right.
What you did there?
Thank you. I'll be here all night.
And Aphrodite said, makes me think of the poem from In Living Color called Kill My Landlord. Yes! C-I-L-L, My Landlord. I think actually it was SNL because it was Eddie Murphy. I think it was technically Mr. Robinson from Mr. Robinson's Neighborhood is who the character was. I know too much about that sketch. I apologize.
So Google has suggested it is in fact Eddie Murphy from Saturday Night Live.
Yep. Yeah. It's one of my favorite SNL sketches ever. So, that's why I knew it. That is the only reason I knew it. I'm not like an SNL expert or anything. That's not what I do with
Just
my
that
time.
one.
Yeah, just the one. So, all right. Well, I don't have any more questions. So unless we have other things we want to talk about, or somebody else has some questions, I'm just playing with this piggy.
Piggy.
I see his face and still typed the wrong show. Been there. Sometimes things just don't click all the way while you're actively writing the answer there.
Yeah, I tell my students, sometimes your brain and your fingers don't communicate well.
Yeah, no, they don't do anything I want them to sometimes.
Yeah.
So, all right, well, why don't we go ahead and do our outros? Yeah. Aphrodite asked what projects we're working on. I'm not actively working on much right now. I'm doing some editing on Hell's Bend. And my new book came out, my Onyx Path book, but my name is not on the cover on the entry, and my name is wrong on the cover when you buy it. If you get the PDF, it will get updated. If you get a hard book, it will always be spelled wrong. So,
Oh no.
yeah, I'm loving it.
Said link.
I'm
link
like a McDonald's ass bitch right here. Hold on a second, I'll go look at it. And to be real, I've already been paid for it, so what the fuck do I care?
That's fair.
Oh, we're for $12 right now on the website. That's not great. That's not terrible.
Nice. Nice.
Not on Amazon. On Drive-Thru Fiction.
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah, not on Amazon.
Otherwise, you would have sounded a little more
I would have
excited.
been all, I'm an Amazon bestseller, bitches!
I mean, the number of people who have been an Amazon bestseller in some category for at least 0.2 seconds is
That's
high.
Right, it's like 97.2% or something. Especially if you know how to milk the system. Like, I wrote fiction about a girl who is part goat taking place in the mid-1940s. I'm gonna call it that. Like, oh, I'm the first one in that category. Of course you fucking are. Like, that's ridiculous. So, yeah, there's my bookie book. And yeah, it just shows my husband's name on it.
Tisk.
Ridic. But if you buy it, my name will be on there as Sarah Scharnuber.
Yay.
Good old Sarah Scharnuber.
Is anybody
Dumb.
else working on something?
I'm actually hoping to do a skim read of my space fantasy this weekend. And get it ready for the beta readers. I had my alpha feedback and there were a lot of revisions that needed to go in, but I have checked most of them off and there's a couple that just need to go in as I go through and make sure everything's still happening in the right order.
Yeah.
And hopefully next week it'll be ready for beta readers. So I'm super excited. It's based on a fairy tale and it also has sentient space octopus, people flying nautiloid ships through space pulled by space manta rays.
You should make that a
Ooh.
category.
Right.
You'll be number one, I
Bestseller.
promise.
Right.
Yeah,
And
Amazon
if you're
bestseller.
not, that's gonna be a whole nother story.
Right? Right? Like, I couldn't get bestseller status in this incredibly specific category. What is wrong?
I was supposed to be editing this month, but my job got in the way.
Killed you.
My job killed me. So actually, I've been working on. I'm gonna start doing regular blogs for my students and their parents. So I spent the first half of this week and the last half of last week editing. They were originally video scripts and turning them into blog posts. So worked on that. And then today I worked on outlining 5 or 6 blog posts for my parents. So yeah. Someday I'll get back to writing fiction, but
There you go. All right.
And then
Yeah.
I'm working on an anti-hero story, and I only got 1 chapter out, but so far I like it.
You gotta start somewhere.
It is what it is. I'm sorry?
I said you gotta start somewhere.
Yes.
Like,
yeah.
everybody has one chapter at some point.
right?
All right, let's go ahead and do outros. Let's start with Morgan and then work our way down the strip.
Sure. So I'm Morgan Hazelwood. I write fantasy all over the spectrum, and I also vlog, and podcast, writing tips from the pros and my own writerly musings. This week on the podcast, I was talking about the potential future of podcasting, and over on the vlog and the website, the blog, I was talking about writing those sex scenes in your non-erotic works. They're notes from a convention of, professionals doing this stuff. So hopefully you'll find them useful.
There you go. CJ.
I am CJ Bloyer. I'm a writer of things and a private piano instructor. And you can catch me here every Friday night that I wake up from my nap.
True.
And tomorrow, 2:00 my time, 1:00 Eastern, right?
I believe that's right.
Or is it 2 o'clock Eastern, 1 o'clock?
I don't know. Is it open yet? Like, is the...
Yeah, it's...
Hold on, let me go find out for you.
Okay. Anyway, it's over on Tamara Woods' channel. We're going to do the Writers' Workshop.
1 p.m. Central, noon Eastern. Or no, 2 Eastern.
2 Eastern.
1 p.m. Central.
We're going to be talking about Seven Figure Fiction. It's a book that was chosen last month. So come join us. It's an hour of good times, and yeah.
There you go.
Otherwise, all my links are down below in my link tree.
Yep. Mossy.
I don't know how to do these things. So I'm a fantasy author, and I'm also an artist. I am on Twitch 3 days out of the week, starting in August. Right now, we're just working on some fan art and some pieces for Halloween, as well as on the side doing the fantasy stories. I think my Instagram and my Twitch is down below in the description.
It should be, as long as it didn't fuck me. Yeah, it's down there.
It's always a question.
Uh-huh.
Right now I'm doing I don't know if you guys know Resident Evil Village, the new game that came out. I'm doing some fan art on Lady Dimitrescu and her daughters. And I'll be continuing that on Monday, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
There you go. Awesome. And I am Sarah, and this is my channel, and I stream on Twitch on Mondays and Thursdays while playing video games. I've been playing Stray. It's the cutest thing that ever happened. Also, I can meow on command, and I don't... It makes me cry tears of joy. And then also sadness. So just so you're aware. Anyway, and then the first, third, and fifth Wednesday of every week, I am on the Onyx Paths channel on a D&D game, where I play a cat. Meow. Surprisingly enough, I enjoy cats, in case you unless you've missed that.
I see a theme.
Yes. And then Friday nights we do like a writing stream, which I do on both YouTube and Twitch, because I can. That's pretty much it. Otherwise, what was that? Oh, Twin Freaks, yeah. We also have a podcast called Twin Freaks Podcast. It's me, CJ, Dana, and Tamara. We are kind of slow getting posts up right now, but basically the whole crew has had like life changes, so we're still trying to like remap when we're going to be able to get together to record additional episodes. But we are quickly approaching that, and Dana is basically a psychic, so that's pretty cool. Yeah. So Dana's all like, I bet it's this thing going on there. And I'm like, what the fuck is she doing? Did she watch this? What's she doing? She didn't. She's just really good at it. Anyway, so yeah, we'll see you guys all next week. If you have any ideas for what you want me to talk about on my Friday streams, feel free to hit me up. Usually Twitter's the best place, but you can also hit my community tab here, and that'll do it. So bye, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.